All right. Hi, everyone. Let me say hi. This is from Climb Your Everest Leadership Workshop Series. Today, our guest speakers is Dr. Zara Zarazadeh from Australia. She is teaching in Queen's University, right?
University of Queensland.
University of Queens, exactly. And so we are having her. She's going to be speaking about how to increase collaboration in your classroom. So if you're a teacher, if you're an educator, or any person can benefit from this, especially if you have access to groups of people and you're trying to increase collaboration in your community. All right, Dr. Zara, thank you for being here. I'll let you start.
Yeah, hello everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Sarah. And today I'm going to talk about the classroom collaboration. The main thing is what I'm telling, the first thing I'm gonna say, what is the importance of having collaboration in the classroom? And I'm gonna give you 8 methods that you can use to increase the collaboration in your classroom. But you need to consider your classroom, your teaching area. For example, if you are a primary school, high school, or you have a workshop somewhere, or the university, it depends on where you teach. Some of them are useful for you and some of them might not, you might not use it at all. So let's start it. I'm gonna open my slides and okay. The first thing is, why do we need classroom collaboration? Can you tell me why we need? Any idea? So look, when we talk about the classroom collaboration, what does it mean exactly? It means that you engage your students or the people are learning from you in your teaching. It means your teaching environmental, it's not one-to-one. It's not I'm talking, you're listening, for example, and it's not when I'm going to, sorry, I'm just moving this one down. Yeah, and it's not like I'm talking to you and you're listening. It's gonna be really boring if you're gonna do it. We call that one traditional teaching. It when someone always talking, the students listen to them. What happened in the collaboration when we increase students' engagement in the discussion and the learning? It firstly, it's increased their learning because they are engaged with us. They don't take a nap or they don't sit get bored. So they are engaged in the classroom. So the learning gonna increase. Second, because they are talking, we ask them to talk to the class in the class, and we ask them to share their idea. They are developing social skills. They are developing their communication skills, because sometimes they're gonna learn from their discussion as well, how they need to discuss in the class, how they need to engage with other students. So they develop social skills. In the classroom, the students really enjoy when everyone are talking, everyone is have a chance to talk about their ideas, they have a chance to ask questions, and by some of the classroom collaboration methods, they support each other. So they building, supporting learning environment, they support each other in the learning. In the real life, one of the things it's really important in their real life, it's they need to communicate, they need to discuss, they need to analyze all the situation, and they need to do the critical thinking. So the classroom collaboration prepared them for the real life situations. The other benefits is that students have a chance to give their ideas. So they are learning different idea, different perspective, and they are learning how other students are creative. And they learn that people have a different idea, different perspectives. So by learning that, firstly, they see one situation from different angles, from from the diverse areas. The other one is they learn people have a different, or students have a different perspective. They need to respect them, respect their perspective. That is another benefit. The other one is skill development, communication skill, critical thinking skill, analyzing skill. All of them gonna be improved by classroom collaboration. We have I'm gonna talk about the 8 methods about the classroom collaboration. It depends on you and your teaching environment, that which one is useful for your class or your teaching environment. So I'm going one by one. Before I'm going through them, I want to ask you if any of you do teaching, or and which grade you are teaching.
Yeah, yeah, Zara.
Yeah.
I do just like classes for ladies who are at a village in
Hmm.
their own language. I teach them whatever topics we are discussing here. We
Hmm.
I share it with them. It is kind of teaching only.
Yes.
But it is more like encouraging them to get open.
Hmm.
Like, yeah. So I do a little bit of teaching.
Yeah, that is really good. It's so it means you teach them and you want them have a voice, start talking, and increase their communication skill
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well. Okay, great. Thank you so much.
yeah.
And yeah, yes,
Hello, ma'am.
yes. How are you?
Yeah, fine, ma'am. Yeah, nice to see you.
Nice to see
Yeah,
you
I
too.
teach up to 8, ma'am, grade 8.
Sorry.
I teach up to grade 8 science.
Okay.
And
Oh,
normally I use this method, like sometimes we'll do group works and class discussions.
okay.
And sometimes technology, we use technology also.
Okay,
Like
that's great. It means
PowerPoint presentations, and sometimes we show them like documentary related to the topic.
hmm.
So we use those methods, ma'am.
Oh, that's really good. It means you are using most of
Yeah,
these methods in your class.
yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's really good. Okay, Madhuri, are you teaching? Do you do teaching as well?
Yeah, no, ma'am.
Okay. So, so, so what I want when I go through each of these methods, we need to discuss if you use, for example, group project, because my teaching environment, I'm teaching at university and I'm teaching mostly master students. So it's my teaching environment, it's completely different. And even the education system from one country to other country, it's completely different. So what I want is when we go through each of them, I want you share your experience as well, because Dr. Sarah gonna send this video out, so it might be someone else in your situation that it's useful for them. So firstly, I'm introduce the topic, for example, group project, and then you say you have, I want all of you collaborate and say if you use it and how you use it. So the main thing, firstly, group project. As you know, we give the students each group a project. We might have a 3-4 different projects for the class, and either ask a student to choose the project or we allocate the group the project. What I'm doing for the group project, I ask a student to find their group members. So they are fine to find a group members. Mostly it's 4 or 5 students in each group, and then it depends on which course I'm doing. Sometimes we have 6 different topics, and I say the first group take for example topic 1. No one else can take topic 1, so it depends on them, because we want all of the topic be presented in the class. What is doing the group project is firstly encourage students to work together. One of the things, the students are really good friends, but when it's coming to working together, most of the time it's a challenges between them. Someone is working really hard, someone is not working, someone has a different communication skill. So firstly, it's encourage students to work together. And as they start to do their project, they start to exchange the idea. What I'm thinking, because they need to plan how to do the project. And they need to plan how divide the tasks between themselves. So, but what happened, it increased teamwork. I had the students, even master students, they came to my office and they cried because they couldn't do teamwork. We had a group, they were so happy about the teamwork. But at the end of the day, both of these people, happy people, satisfied people, and unsatisfied people, both of them learn how to do teamwork. Then communications, increase their communication and increase their voice as well. Sometimes maybe in some projects they accept too much task, but as they get professional, they can say, okay, this is too much task. We need to divide it. It's not divided equally. And the third one is problem solving skills. One of the main skills we want to teach students is problem solving skills. How they think about the problem and how they start to solve that problem. That is the big things we need to, because it's really useful for their future or real life situation for them. So I told you what I'm doing. What are you doing? Do you use, I think Mina, you told me you use group project, how it works in your class?
Okay, normally we separate the group of students. Like sometimes we told them to collect different types of leaves in their locality, different types of leaves, and they need to identify the name of that plant, and they need to paste it in the board, and in front of the class they have to present it. So we do
Okay.
like
Any challenges?
like normally when we divide group, like normally the students, they want like, how can I say, they want to be in their good friend, no, like if they are easy with each other, comfortable with each other, then it will be easier for them to work. But that will make bias in the class. So that's why I used to make a group including all types of students, like good, medium, and the lower, so that they can learn from each other. So I separate the group, and sometimes the group may not work and they do not perform properly also, that I found them.
Okay. If it's not work, sorry, what do you do? If someone say, do they come to you and tell you it's not working?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Like everything I was doing, like I'm collecting the leaves and I'm doing pasting, but my friends, he is not supporting me, helping me. So such certain things, sometime it will come.
What is your solution?
And then I just call all of them, and I just ask them, like, look, your friend, they collect this much of leaves, and they are cooperating with each other so that they can perform good in the class and get the good score. And why you are not doing so? Don't behave like that. So I will just try to cooperate them so that they can perform. And sometimes it works, but sometimes it will not work. And they say, no, I don't want this. I don't continue in this group. I want to be in next one. So it happens sometimes.
Yeah, because you are high school and they are friends for a long time. My
Yes,
situation
yes.
is different. They are coming, they don't know each other at all. They are sitting in my class the first or second week. They need to. How about so anyway they're gonna learn it. If they do it or they don't do it, it's they're gonna learn it. Don't worry about it, because even if they don't work in the group, they understand this is a real life situation. In real life situation, I might be in some work situation which is not working for me. I'm doing it, but I had some issues. I've done two things. First, I don't know if it works for anyone, but this is my experience. Firstly, I asked them to create a worksheet, divide, break the task. For example, collect the leaf, name the leaf, whatever. They break the task, not me, because they need to learn it. And they sit and write who is doing each of the tasks. They allocate the task, and then they write when is the due date, when is they need to finish this job. This is one thing I've done, and it works for some of my classes. Sometimes it's not working, but it works. The other time I give them a form, and at the beginning I say it's a peer evaluation. It means when you submit, you need to evaluate your other group members. I prepare that form. I say, for example, she was in all meetings. She came to all meetings. There was no problem with a communication. If they send the email, if they talk, there is nothing. She has done, or he has done his job on time. All of them, and I say mark them from 1 to 5. I collect that. I told them it's really important. I don't mark them based on that, but I can see where is the problem or issue is. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes they mark one of the students all in one, in the lowest. So that is the issue. That is the students. I need to think what I need to do after that. I used this tutoring for my group project. I'm not sure if it's useful for anyone, but I found it much easier to manage the students. So that's really good. Eleanor, do you use any group project or no?
It is generally I teach with a small group. It is hardly 5 or 6 members. So I don't have chance of making them in groups.
Yeah.
It is already a small group. That's why.
Yes, so I understand. So if some situation came up, you can do it as a pair, as a 2-2. If you want to increase, if there is a subject you want to do, you can do it as a 2-2, at least two different group talking together. So because how it's that, because when we talk about one subject and the other one talk, we understand better, and we see, wow, I didn't this problem, or I didn't this issue from this, this dimension, this angle. So the another one which is good, and we are doing, I'm doing on all of my classes, it's a class discussion. I do the discussion, but I don't finish the discussion. I don't wrap up the discussion. In between the discussion, or I always ask them, what do you think? Or what is going to happen? For example, for the science, it's okay, what do you think if I mix, I'm not a science person, Mina. I'm sorry, but for example, if I mix this one with this one, what do you think? What's going to happen? So, and I wait for quite a long time, because when I ask a student, no one answer me. But when I stay quiet for at least 1 minute, 1 minute quiet silence, it's a long period for the class. So when I set it here and without any talking, when students start talking, sometimes I change the questions to make it easier for them, or understand what type of question I need to ask to get motivate them to answer as well. It depends on your class. What will happen? It increase critical thinking. It's a respect for the diverse opinion. It means I understand this is this one opinion, or people tell even the same outcome, same result, people discussing in a different way. So I understand, and it increase effective communication skills. The students start talking, and that is really good. That is one of the things we are doing. And I always, when students give me a wrong answer, I encourage them more, because you're brave. Because when you don't know the answer and you start talking, it means you're brave to talk. And I say, wow, that's good. And I'm not directly telling them that's wrong or right. So I say, oh, okay, how about this one? What is there anyone else idea? That is, I encourage them to talk. What about you? What you are doing in the group discussion if you use it?
Okay, ma'am. So normally in class discussion, like we'll be discussing any one topic. Then at first I will.
Sorry, I lost your sound.
Okay, ma'am. So
yeah, that's good.
Okay. So in class discussion, like if I will give one topic, and then first I will just give them some hint related to that topic, and I told them like first I will ask them like what you know about that topic, like it's like brainstorming, like I just want to know how much they have idea about that, and then I will give them a little bit hint about that, and after that some students they ask the questions, and some will just share their idea about the topic, and some will ask question related to that. So in this way the discussion will go on.
That's good. Any challenges?
Yeah, so when we start discussion, normally the class get disturbed, like the class get disturbed, no, like some say like this, some say like that, and so we need to handle that situations. Otherwise, the class will be just messed, and we don't know what we are talking. Sometimes it will happen like that.
Okay,
So,
it means
so I
you
need
need to manage
to
the
balance the
discussion.
environment. Yes,
Wow. Okay, good.
that time it happened. Ma'am.
Yeah,
And
that
normally, what I used to do is like, normally when everybody is talking, like everybody is saying this and that, I told them just raise the hand and ask your queries and just share. At first they say okay, because I teach many students, it will be 30, 35 like that. And first they say okay, ma'am, there is hand, and later on they just want to put their idea, their view, and it will just disturb the class. And I just clap once, no, at that time, and they repeat after me, and then I clap twice, and they repeat after me. Then it will be quiet. Then again I will start. So I do like that.
wow, that's really good. That's really good. So that's really good. I didn't have this type of challenges. My mostly challenges is because my university has around, in master students, it's around 90% non-English students. They pass the exam to come to the university, but they are kind of shy, or I don't know, the new generation, they don't want to talk. So mostly is pushing them to talk. It's kind of challenge for me. I give them a rewards, I encourage them. Sometimes I don't have this type of challenge because I have one or two students, they start talking. So it's when they start talking, the rest talk. So
Yeah.
that is my challenge more rather
In my
than.
class, everybody want to talk and they just raise their hand and this is share. Yeah, that is good.
Yes, yeah. Okay, what about you, Elena?
Like I'll be teaching generally little elderly people, like with my age, 30s and 20s.
You're young.
So, yeah. Uh,
Okay.
so I will ask them. Sometimes they might be open to discuss that discussion. Sometimes they are little shy, but I encourage them to talk, whatever it might be. Let us share like that. I
Okay.
if they are not talking, then I will continue with my another topic.
Okay. Do they talk normally? Start talking after
Uh,
you encourage them?
yeah, sometimes they respond very quickly. Sometimes they don't want to go into that kind of discussion. They'll be silent sometimes.
Okay.
Uh, Generally, I am teaching them more to be communicated, to improve their communicative skills. So I generally encourage them. I don't try. Okay, next time you can share it like that. I encourage them.
Okay, that's good. That's good because I think you're right. They need to be, if they're already adult, it means there is some communication skill is missing. So they need to learn, and they need to learn. It's okay if it's wrong, and there is nothing wrong or right. We are just experiencing. It doesn't mean when the people always talking, they're always right. So yeah.
Like they might not be comfortable in sharing their personal sometimes, so that makes the problem. Otherwise they are very free with me. I make them as friends, and like I am not like teacher. Like a friend talking to a friend. So most of them are very friendly with me, but while I'm asking any personal questions, they are a little bit shy to answer it or share it. But
Well,
yeah. But
I think that
otherwise,
is understandable.
yeah,
But
that is not about that is not about communication, but it's about like personal things sharing. Some might feel comfortable and some might feel like shy. They don't want to go into deeper, but otherwise they are very comfortable with me.
That's very cool. Then one thing you can teach them is they need to have a border. If they think it's personal, they can tell you. They can tell the class, say, "I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable to share it," or "It's too personal. Otherwise, I'm happy to share." It means I'm not sharing. So sometimes these sentences help, because in the situation, in the real life situation, so many people asking the very private personal questions. So sometimes it's very personal. They need to find a sentence or a way to say, okay, I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable to answering, or I can reply to you after the class, but I'm not comfortable
And
in the
speaking with,
class.
yeah,
Yes, that is, they need to express it rather than you guess it. It means
yeah,
they learning communication skills. They know it, and they don't talk about
okay,
it.
yeah.
Good. Madhuri, I'm not asking you because you are not teaching, but whenever you have an idea, more than welcome to share with us.
Okay, ma'am.
Good. So let's go to peer feedback. I find this one very useful in two ways. What does it mean, peer feedback? It means we are doing different things. The first thing is, for example, when the student do presentation in the class, the other student evaluate them. Okay, they don't need to give their name. They can evaluate very secretly, but the feedback is really good. They need to give a feedback on the topic and on the presentation. Two things happens in my classes. The firstly happens few years ago. The students start feedbacking on the personality of the person, the students, which I say nothing about personality, presentation skills, and the topic. What happened? It's when they are doing this, firstly, they are learning about topic because they need to listen carefully what the other students say. The second is they need to analyze it. What's happened? Is that right? Is that good? The step they are doing it great. Third, when they give a feedback, they learn communication skills, and the other person, the presenter, learn its feedback, even the negative feedback, as long as it's not about their personality. It's good. We have people are more than welcome give a feedback on our job. So these are improving the students. The other one is my daughter is grade 8 students. They are, for example, the assignments or something like a homework when they have, they need to exchange it. Teacher give the answer, for example, and they need to mark it. That is another way. But in my classes, it's mostly about the presentation. I had another one which I do the peer feedback. I didn't want the exactly feedback on each presentation and everything. What I wanted the feedback on. I wanted they were, I think, 6 group's presentation, I wanted they select at the end of all the presentation, they select only one group as a winner. They are not, they didn't allow to give, and they fold their paper. No one gonna see. That is another things of getting peer feedback. That is helping students a lot as well. Do you have any experiences? Do you do peer feedback in your classes?
I am. So last time we discussed about the invertebrates, the different 9 phylum of invertebrates, and I just separate the group of 2 students, and they have to present different phylum. Like I told them to present like 2 phylum, and they present. And 2 students, they will be in front of a class, and they present about that topic, like their character, examples, and where they have seen that animal, they saw it or not, or like that. And at the same time, I asked the next students, like, is that okay, or do you want to add some more about that phylum, or anything, the new thing what they have present. And sometime, in some cases, some students, they say, okay, ma'am, I just want to add some more in this. So they say like that, and I let them told about that.
Oh, that's
So
good.
it's like feedback, no? They will
Yes.
add some more, and they say like they miss this. It's better if they will present it like this way. So some students, they just give feedback to them like that, and in this way they learn. So it's
Oh,
like
that's
feedback.
great. Did you have any challenges?
Like if I give them the easier topic, then they can do it better. But if it's little bit hard, then there will be no any feedback, and nothing will be like that. So I
Okay.
think it depends upon topic also.
Yeah, probably but an easier topic for all the students. They give you lots of feedback.
Yeah, lots of feedback will be there, and if the topic is completely new for them, and then it will be hard, I think.
Yes,
Peer feedback is so
mostly.
difficult, I feel like that.
Yeah, mostly we use the peer feedback for the homework when they have their homework, and the
Yes, ma'am.
other students need to evaluate their homework. They mark it, they read it, or it's after they learning and they applying for the presentation they are
Otherwise,
doing.
if we give them completely new topic, then there will be no feedback. So I also feel like
No,
that. Yeah,
because they haven't learned it yet.
they have. Yes, ma'am.
So that's why it's not feedback. That's good. You learn from that. Yeah, mostly we give them when they know about the topic completely.
Yes, it's like a
So
revision work sometime.
yeah, so they have an idea, because as you know, most of the students either don't have or don't want to have an idea. They don't just want to sit in a class and go home. That's it. They don't want to do anything. So when it's a new topic, it's already challenging for them to learn. So
Yeah.
no feedback. As long as they learn it, you need to be happy. You can do the class discussion for the new topic
Yes.
rather than peer feedback. But for the topics they learned a lot, they know already what's happening. And sometimes the topic is so from the real life. Sometimes the topic they can touch it. You are teaching science, so sometimes I'm teaching marketing as well. Sometimes I talk about Coca-Cola brand. Everyone has an idea about it because everyone knows about it. Everyone has idea. Everyone give it. If someone do the presentation on Coca-Cola, everyone has a feedback because everyone knows it. But if it's some brand they don't know, the amount of feedback just decrease. Students get silent inside. Good. Okay, anyone else wants to share about the peer feedback? Do you use it? Do you want to use it?
Zara, like in my classes, like if I had to speak about any topic like financial literacy or anything in such topics, I generally ask, I discuss something and I ask their feedback also, like what is your experience with this, or how do you manage uh, such kind of feedback. I generally, it is like a discussion, not just teaching something. I teach something and I ask, what do you do in your personal life, and how do you react to this. I generally have that kind of discussion, and I get those kind of feedbacks.
Oh, class discussion. And I can imagine when you have about the financial things, everyone has some feedback.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how do you do spendings? Do you budget or do you plan, like
Yeah.
that? And like that kind of questions. It's not just teaching a class like mathematics means this thing. It is not like teaching, but it is more like discussion, as we do in our class. It's discussion more than teaching.
Oh, good. That's really interesting. Thank you so much for sharing. Let's go problem solving. One of the things we ask is give the students real life problems. It doesn't matter what you are teaching. For example, if I'm teaching economic, I ask them, mostly I ask them to find the economic issues. It was a lot after the COVID. They go to the newspaper and everything. But it doesn't matter which one is, even in the science, give them a real life problems or scenario, and then encourage them to do the brainstorming in the class. I found I'm in my classes, I have 5, 6 whiteboards around my class, and I always carry 6, 7 marker, and I group the student and I ask them, they write when they brainstorm. I give them, for example, 10 minutes. I give them a real life issues, give them a 10 minutes, and I say, do brainstorming, and then try to talk in the class. They start writing, and I ask them, write your idea, whatever you think, on whiteboard. It works for my class because they are secretly look at each other whiteboard. It works. I wanna they start brainstorming. They cannot copy all of them, but it gives them a hint for the students are not confident. They're looking and say, oh yeah, that's correct. They have to add something at some point, otherwise I understand. I understand when they doing, but I don't mention it. But they think I don't understand. So they need to add something or change something. It's not like copying from the other students. So and I found this one, it works really good, mostly for my non-English students, because sometimes they cannot find a good word. Not all of them it's like that, but we have a lot of students, they are good at speaking, but sometimes they have a problem with some issues with some words. So they look at it exactly secretly, they think I'm not thinking, so each other whiteboard, so they start thinking and going through, and I walking with the groups and say, okay, how you are doing, what's the problem, what is the idea, and how do you want to solve this idea. So I'm doing all of this, and at the end evaluate the effectiveness of different approaches, because it's a real life, it's not one solution, it's they need to think about it from different perspective. I asked them just allocate one person from each group to speak in the class, and they do. And I found students have a lots of idea when it comes to the real life problems. They can talk about it a lot rather than whatever it's in a book. They think, okay, it's not touchable. Okay, any idea? Do you use that one? Or do you wish to use it?
Well, normally, when I start a new topic, then I use this brainstorming idea.
How do you use it brainstorming?
Topic. Okay, I don't have much idea about this, but normally I ask the questions to them about that topic, like, do you know these, that are examples, like I ask to them. And sometimes they give some examples related to that topic, and sometimes they didn't.
So that's good. I've done brainstorming in few ways. I found the students brainstorming it's working together. I give my idea, brainstorming it's 4 or 5 people working together about one idea. I use whiteboard, and sometimes I use only paper. I give the students paper, I put it in the paper, and they have a pen, and I say each 4 people working together. And write your idea, do the brainstorming.
Okay. So that is
When
good.
they see, rather than asking them immediately, it's a good to have a class discussion for some topics, but for the deep topics, I ask them, and I want them to do the brainstorming. I said, write. And I'm walking around the class. I'm not sitting. I say, okay, I cannot see anything. Any idea, I give them a hint, each group.
And class discussion itself is brainstorming, no?
Sorry?
Class discussion itself is brainstorming.
It
Or
is.
it's different.
Yes, it is brainstorming, but it's mostly not all the students working together as well. It's not giving the analyzing the idea. Some method of the brainstorming, the students, because they talk together, they try to analyze the idea as well. But yeah, it's brainstorming. You can ask a class discussion, do the class discussion. But if in cases you want the students know more, give them a real life problems about the topic and ask them work together, do the brainstorming, and then present in the class. Good. Any question? Can we move to the next one? So, we are teaching a new generation. My generation, I'm still not using, I'm using my mobile, my computer every day, but I'm not a person sitting and using. But in new generation, they love technology. At the university, what I'm doing, I'm not. It depends on your situation. If I have some program like Kahoot, which I ask a question and give them students go home and they share their idea in that online discussion forum. So they can share their idea. It's mostly for the students they don't want to talk to in the class. They are very good, and because they are new generation, they love technology, so they are engaging more. It depends. Sometimes we ask a student if they do the project. they have a Google Doc for their project, and they're working. We have a different platform like Kahoot and other platform, I can't remember. So we use that one as well for the online discussion forum. And for example, in Kahoot, which I'm using, sometimes I put a question there and multiple answer. I ask them, give them a link in the class, because they are allowed to use their computer and mobile at university in the classes. So they connected and they start answering the questions. So that is another way. But I'm not sure how much you can use it for the high school or the elder woman. But that is one way. Okay, good. Let's go. Oh, sorry. Peer teaching. Peer teaching is we allocate one topic to one student and ask the students to teach in the class. Instead of I'm teaching, I ask he or she to teach in the class. What it's really common is we teach the main one, the main topics we teach, but for the extra one, and we don't ask in the class the students teach to the other students, we give them as assignments. We allocate one topic to each student, so they go home, they learn it a lot, they can Google it, they find it, and they come to the class and teach to the class. During when I was students, I think I was in a master degree. The first day the professor came to the class, they say, okay, can you be in group of 2 or sorry, group of 2 or 3 people? We create a group and say, okay, week 2, it's this topic. Week 3 is this topic. Week 4, 5 or 6 weeks of the topic, and I say, you choose it. And you are gonna teach the class. It was so difficult, but I still remember the topic I teach. But we don't want this one for the high school because we need to teach. The other method I see here in the high school they have a group of 4 or 5 students together, which they are not, for example, good in math, and they allocate one student which is really good in math. In an extra time or at the end of the class, they are sitting together, and that student is gonna teach them about the math or about the English reading. In the primary school, they do it the same. 5, 6 students, which the level of the English is a bit lower reading, they sitting, and one student from higher level is sit with them, and they read for her, and she starts correcting them. It depends on your class, but I found it's a bit difficult for a student. Some students get excited because they have to teach in front of the class. They are teacher. They get so excited about it. But they students learn a lot from the peer teaching. Any comment about this?
In my bachelor in architecture, we used to have this peer teaching, like we used to get topics and literature study. If we have to design a building new to us, like any institution or kindergarten, we do literature study first, and we have subjects like building materials, So about sloping roofs and about new materials. So we do a literature study and we talk to the class. Like we have given topics and each one has to speak about that topic, making a PPT. We used to speak like that. We have a seminar on that, and one people will be standing and one person will be standing and teaching the other class. Like I think like if a age group of same a person of same age group talks, then the people will listen more attentively at their level of understanding. They will be comfortable and they will be listening and they grasp more than the teacher. So learn much when we even in my home also, I asked my elder daughter to teach my son. They will be talking more clearly about that subject. Like I may be teaching in little different way, but she might be teaching it differently to her brother. So in that way, they learn more, they grasp more, because at their level of knowledge, they like to be listening, or they like to be attentive to them than us. I feel that way.
Yeah, it's good, and it's good for the person is teaching as well, because they learn where did they, because they don't want to do mistake. They learn it really deeply. They learn it because they say, if they ask me this question, I need to know. So they, that's good. Your daughter teaching your son. My daughters, they are fighting if it's gonna be teaching. Like, oh my god, rather than teaching, it's just screaming. So that's really good. Yeah, I found the peer teaching mostly for the primary. No, I had at university. I didn't apply it in my classes, but when I was students, my one of the topics was like that. But I found it's really good for the primary and secondary and high school students. They learn a lot because they need to teach, and as you say, because they use a simple way. We know the topic for a long time, so sometimes we don't understand. We make it really complicated, but because they are learning as they are teaching, so it's really simple way of the teaching.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Svara.
Yeah. Anyone, any idea, comments? Do you want to share? Okay, if it's nothing, let's go. Okay, I have one more topic about the class debate. Do you have any idea what we use and why we use the class debate? Do you use the class debate? Class debate is when we have various topics and we have two groups, for and against. Simple way I want to talk about is that the arranged marriage good? One group gonna talk about, yes, it's good. One group gonna talk about, no, it's not good. So we give them topic and we give them a position. It doesn't matter if they are agree or not. We give them a position mostly. Ask them to work on it. And then coming to the class and they'll start debating. They say, yes, for example, traditional arranged marriage is good because parents know a lot more than us. They say, no, parents know about know more about the situation, but they don't know about if I'm interested to the person, so it's not good. So it's kind of debate. We do it in lots of topics. For example, is that useful that we evaluate students' achievement with the assignments? One group gonna debate yes, one group say no, and they are gonna work on a topic, and they are debating what's happened. Firstly, the students need to do a lots of research because they know the other group are against them. They need to critically analyze it. It's not only about them to understand what's happening in the situation and what's happening. They need to think about what the other group's gonna say as well, because they're gonna debate. It's not always say, okay, I'm gonna say in all of the previous topics, it's about me. I'm doing research, I'm presenting the research. In the debating, I'm doing research, I'm presenting research, and at the same time, I'm thinking about what other groups are researching and what they're gonna tell me. It's increased critical thinking, ability to consider multiple perspectives because they had to do debating. We found it very useful in I think from year 5 and year 6 they can have it, because before that it's difficult for them to have a debating, and in high school a lot, because it's one of their skills to be able to do the persuasive communication, and at the same time be calm, be respectful, and accept the other people's perspectives as well. Any idea? Yes, no? Do you use the debating?
Yeah, in my intermediate or in my college also we have debates, and
Okay.
I still remember we used to fight with the topic. Yeah, it used to be fun, and sometimes people take it more seriously and become emotional also. But it was good having debates on certain topics.
So look, it's increased their ability, because in real life, it's not always everyone or agree with us.
Yeah.
So we cannot fight with everyone. We can say what we are thinking and what is our argument when we respect the person in front of us, and at the same being really calm. Okay, good. Any question? I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm gonna see your faces. It's better. Any question? No? I hope this is very useful for you. I'm happy to sit here and answer your questions, but you need to find a way to see which one is useful for your learning environment and apply that one.
Yes, Sarah.
Thank you so much. Dr. Sarah, are you here? Or should I finish the class? Probably she's not here. Okay, thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Mine is midday. So enjoy your day and have a really lovely weekend.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you
Nice
so
to meet
much.
you. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.